A left for a small caravan on the Lincolnshire coast on Monday, the 19th of July 2009, unsuspecting that this trip would bring her to the unhappiest day of her life. She returned home on Friday the 23rd of July. From that moment, she found that nobody asked how it went. The subject was avoided. In the absence of anyone to share her story with, she sank into fiction, placing her story alongside others that she had read. She decided to continue such fictional exchanges until she had got over her own pain, either by comparing it to other people's, or until she had worn out her own story through sheer repetition. But he suffered less.
"7 days ago, the woman I missed the most left me. I was stuck in a small caravan in Robin Hood Camp Caravan Park, Skegness. I remember receiving the phone call that realised my worst fears. It was Tuesday, the 20th of July, 2009, at 4:26 p.m. Jay was dead and I had missed it. But this time, I couldn't head back home to find out the full story. I had all of the information that I needed. It wasn't like when I was on holiday in Kos, Greece, from the 24th of June to the 1st of July, and I received a phone call telling me I had to get Elle back fast. When I had to work out how to get home even though there were no direct flights. When I had to be a grown-up even though I was barely out of college. And when we finally got to Manchester Airport at around 4 a.m. on Saturday, the 27th of June, it was the quilts in the back of my mother's car that finally made me cry. But it wasn't like that at all. It was cold, and it was harsh, but it was final. No further developments. No opportunities to hope at all. So I spent the rest of the week staring at the door and thinking of sunflowers until Friday, the 23rd of July, when I got home, and there were no sunflowers.
It is a tale of loneliness, waiting for someone. In Rudebach, a little dark studio with Hessian on one wall, insipid orange-yellowish wallpaper on the other, a small bed on a plinth, and a blocked-up, leaking wash basin. He spent his days sitting on the window ledge, smoking cigarettes, 2 packs a day. In those days, he was smoking Gaulois. He didn't shave. He slouched around. Every phone call was an aggression. He only ever went out to buy cigarettes and do shopping. He always ate the same thing, either eggs or pork chops. It was as if he had a highly regulated timetable, a ritual of nothingness, just waiting. The light entered his room at noon, and that is all that happened. Absolute frustration, total inactivity. A black hole with only the urge to throw himself out of the window. That was the main subject of his thoughts, how to kill himself. He was 25, he was in love, and she'd gone away travelling. For a whole year, he didn't see anyone or do anything. A year later, she came back, and it ended. Most of all, he remembers the view of the ground from the 3rd floor. He doesn't remember her name.
"13 days ago, the woman I used to miss the most left me. Tuesday, the 20th of July 2009, 4:26 p.m. Robin Hood Camp Caravan Park, Skegness. Enough.
The setting is a village in northern Italy. His parents are out. Suddenly, in the night, they hear a cart, voices. His mother comes in. She says his father isn't well. He looks at the face of this man who 2 hours ago was his father as he lies there, not moving. He hears his mother giving orders. She tells his brother to go and fetch some ice. She sends him out for the priest. Everything is speeded up. In the bedroom there is the doctor, the priest, his brother, his mother. He keeps his eyes on her. She is his guide. She seems extremely calm. The doctor says the children should leave the room. She refuses. I want my children to see their father die. Time goes by watching this snoring man. The dramatic intensity slowly wanes, replaced by fatigue and a stiff back. He wonders when it will end. His father died at exactly 4 o'clock. When the deep silence settled, his mother opened the window to let the soul fly away. Objectively, it was not a heartbreaking night, but it's as if a seed had been sown that would later turn into pain. The plant began growing at the funeral as shame. He could feel people's pity. Poor kid, he's lost his father. Then came the rage at his brother for crying, showing his grief. Later there was a fear of not being protected, the sadness at his mother's loneliness, the emptiness, 1,000 facets of suffering. And that's when he felt the tearing, the wrenching in his guts. He was 12. It was June the 18th, 1948. His father's death was not the climax of his pain. It was a time bomb.